behalf of the entire staff of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway and the Cusack family, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Maine's oldest continually operating family-owned speedway. My name is Bruce Elvey, a race commentator, and tonight we feature the 1991 Budweiser Limited Sportsman Spectacular 75-lap feature event on tap for the Limited Sportsman drivers tonight. Flagman Eddie Walsh atop the flag stand, along with assistant starter Junior Niles, handling the flags for the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway each and every week. Flagman Eddie Walsh gives the all clear as the drivers glance to the flag stand, staging on the backstretch, and we look for a start at turn 4. Pace car onto the infield pit road. Dave Sprague and Doug Shores bring the first heat down, looking for a start at turn 4. Flagman Eddie Walsh is ready, waits for the cars. Green is out. It is a false start. No, he's going to let him go. Dave Sprague, right from the point, jumps into a quick lead. Doug Shores back now, making a challenge on the outside. Bobby Cotton looking for room beneath the 07 of Shores. Continues to be Dave Sprague on the backstretch, working lap number 2. Doug Shores trying to mount a challenge once again from the outside. Shores in one of 2 Ford Thunderbirds in competition in this Super Sportsman division. All the rest General Motors products. Doug Shores up from the Limited Sportsman division, where he was a very successful driver in the division with a Ford machine. Back in this all-new Super Sportsman division, now once again trying to draw it even on the backstretch, and he does. Puts a fender ahead at turn 3. Dave Sprague right back hard on the inside to take over the lead. Across the stripe side by side, working in lap number 5. They're approaching the halfway mark. Doug Shores with the advantage on the backstretch. Tries to squeeze the car by. Dave Sprague can't quite get all the way by. Sprague back to challenge on the inside, but Shores takes it across the stripe. New leader at the halfway point, Doug Shores in the 07, followed by Dave Sprague, then Bobby Cotton in the 17. Side-by-side battle between Steve Howard and Danny Palmer. Doug Shores now stretching it out over Dave Sprague. Once in the lead and able to get down to that inside groove, Shores is able to pick up speed. Bobby Cotton in the outside groove now, trying to mount a challenge for second. It will be 2 laps to go, indicates Flagman Eddie Walsh when they cross the stripe. This time just 2 to go. Rookie Bobby Cotton on the move in the number 17. Side by side with Steve Howard. Tries to mount a challenge to the outside of Sprague once again. Can't do it. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Steve Howard now out into the second groove, trying to see if he can mount a challenge to the outside of Dave Sprague. Tries to draw it even in turn 3, can't quite do it. Checkered flag in the air. Doug Shores claims heat number 1. Dave Sprague, Steve Howard, Danny Palmer, and Bobby Cotton round out the top 5. Coasting down now to the start-finish line area. Nice round of applause, please, for Doug Shores, winning heat number 1 in the Super Sportsman division, the 07, sponsored by Ed Batteries. Ed's Batteries in Westbrook, Compliment Auto Salvage, and Whitney's Automotive Repair. Flagman Eddie Walsh with the all clear as the drivers glance to the flag stand. Staging on the backstretch, Heat 2 in the Super Sportsman division. Former modified competitor Spike Manitoul on the pole. Dave Bath in the number 5 to his outside, bring the field down to turn 4. Green is out. Spike Manitoul right from the point. Jumps into a quick lead. Mark LeBlanc and Dave Bath side by side for position number 2. Field of Super Sportsmen has tightened up each and every week. Mark LeBlanc and Dave Bath wheel to wheel still for position 2. Now LeBlanc in the 08. Squeezes ahead just a little bit. Bath is back to challenge on the outside. Kevin Durgan looking for racing room to the inside. Spike Manitoul shows the way in the number 89. Mark LeBlanc in the 08. Side-by-side battle now for 3rd. Kevin Durgan in the 7. Dave Bath in the number 5. The 08 gets a little out of shape on the straightaway. Has to back out of it just a little bit, and that backs that second row up. Opens up the inside. Here comes Ken McLeod. Kevin Durgan and Ken McLeod now going at it for that second place position. They'll be approaching the halfway mark. 5 down, 5 to go. Ken McLeod on the move in the number 6. 4 feature wins for the number 6 thus far this year. Wheel to wheel with Spike Manitoul. Across the stripe, new leader working into lap number 7, Ken McLeod. Ken McLeod with a bold move to the outside of Spike Manitoul. Takes over the point, dropping Manitoul back to 2nd. Kevin Durgan looks to the outside of the number 89 to see if he can follow that same move of Ken McLeod in the number 6. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates 2 laps to go this time by. Ken McLeod once again with an impressive run. Just the way he started the season. He won opening day and has collected 4 feature events under the white flag, 1 lap to go. Kevin Durgan once again works to the outside of Spike Manitoul on the backstretch. Kevin Durgan in the 7 trying to take over the second place qualifying position. Checkered flag in the air. Ken McLeod grabs heat number 2. Spike Manitoul. Kevin Durgan. Then the 27 and the number 5 side by side. Leaderboard has the number 5 David Bath in 4th place. Bubba Pelton the 27 in the 5th place. Coast down to the start-finish line. A nice round of applause, please, for Ken McLeod. Winning heat number 2 in the Super Sportsman division. Car is sponsored by Ace Hardware and Jansen Service Center. Heat number 1. This is by the draw for the Limited Sportsman division. Jeff Morgan on the pole to his outside. Don Colpert in the 21. The 14 is driven by Bob Lord. The 105, Glenn Reynolds. Danny Bubar in the 24, Chuck Haynes in the 68, Billy Thompson in the number 6, Scott Chapman in the 85. Bob Nord in the number 14, second inside. Looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Jeff Morgan and Don Colpert, side-by-side battle. 7 cars to qualify from this qualifying heat. Still a side-by-side battle. Jeff Morgan with a slight advantage at the line. Don Colpert still pressing to the outside. 7 cars to qualify for the 75-lap main event. The rest will have to try to grab a qualifying position via a consolation race. Jeff Morgan continues to show the way over Don Colpert. Then comes Danny Bubar in the 24, Billy Thompson in the number 6, Scott Chapman in the 85, Phil Weeks in the 19, and Jimmy Emerson in the 73 would be the last qualifier at this time. Top 4 have broken away from the rest of the pack. Continues to be Jeff Morgan, Don Culprit, Danny Bubar, Billy Thompson in that group of 4 out front. Then the last 3 qualifiers, Scott Chapman in the 85, Jimmy Emerson in the 73, Phil Weeks in the 19. But here comes Dave Vecto with a hard charge to the outside, looking for a qualifying position. Last qualifier at this time would be the 85 of Scott Chapman. Assistant starter Junior Niles indicates they'll be approaching the halfway point next time by. 15 lap qualifying heat, 7 cars to qualify, 8 down and 7 to go. '53 of Don Miner into the sand pile, backs it away, not before the caution flag flies. With 8 laps on the board, the cars come under caution. Green is out at turn 4. Jeff Morgan, Don Culprit back at it again, side by side. This time Culprit with a strong challenge to the outside of the number 70 of Morgan. They go at it wheel to wheel out of turn 4. Side by side across the stripe, working lap 10. Last qualifier at the moment would be the 19 of Phil Weeks. 7 cars to qualify for the main event. The rest will have to try to do it in a consolation. Dave Vecto on the move in the 78. The 21 is out of shape in turn 2. Gets it turned about right at the entrance to pit road. Don Culprit gets the number 21 turned about. Perhaps had a tire go down. It was hard to tell. Tough break. It's hard to tell, but it seems that the back end of the car just got railed from under. He takes the car on pit road. All clear once again from assistant starter Junior Niles as the cars work the backstretch down to turn 3. 11 laps recorded on the leaderboard. Looking for a start at turn 4. We have green. Jeff Morgan right back, but he has problems now. Takes the car right out to the outside of the track. Possibly a tire down on the 70. Hard to tell what happened. Jimmy Emerson now, new leader, as the cars have 12 laps recorded on the board. The last qualifier would be the 125, driven by Mark Hussey. Two laps to go. Just what happened to Jeff Morgan is hard to say. Obviously, the tires are up on the number 70, but something happened to get the car right out of shape. White flag in the air. Jimmy Emerson, Danny Bubar, Billy Thompson, Dave Fecto, Phil Weeks, Scott Chapman, and Mark Hussey. Chuck Haynes trying to squeeze into a qualifying position. Checkered flag flies. Jimmy Emerson smokes the tires across the line. Jimmy Emerson, nice round of applause, please. Winner of heat number 1 in the Limited Sportsman Division. Junior Niles gives the all clear from atop the flag stand as the drivers glance over to stage for their start at turn 4. Kurt Beam in the 42. Donnie Morse has to pick it up just a little bit. Green is out. Kurt Beam from the inside with the advantage, but Donnie Morse coming back to the outside. Kurt Beam, a rookie in the number 42. Donnie Morse, a veteran in the number 75. Already a feature winner here this year is Donnie Morse in the 75. Beam gets it out of shape, gets it a little bit sideways. Almost opened up room for Mike Field in the 88, but not quite enough. Donnie Morse once again back to challenge from the outside. Last qualifier would be the 76 of Earl Glidden. The battle is for second. Mike Field in the 88 and Donnie Morse in the 75 go at it side by side for second place, and then a side-by-side battle for the next position. The 60 of Lloyd Washburn, the 37 of Larry Gelinas. Larry Gelinas trying to squeeze into that fourth place position as he works himself around the 60 of Lloyd Washburn. Mike Field looks for room beneath the 42 of Kurt Beam. They get together on the backstretch. That takes Morse with him, but he gets through the infield and keeps going. Apparently everyone underway, and we stay green. Larry Gelinas from fourth place right on the outside into the lead. Donnie Morse dove into the infield to get around that skirmish between the 42 and the 88. And our last qualifier at the moment would be the 124 of Tinker Dowdy. Tangle on the backstretch. Mike Grant turned about and up against the backstretch wall will bring the cars under caution. Provisional starters added. That will be determined by the two highest point holders who did not qualify via the heat or consolation. It's ready for a restart. 6 laps down. Larry Gelinas and Donnie Morse on the front row. Assistant starter Niles asked them to pick up the pace. A real slow start at turn 4. Green is up. Larry Gelinas jumps into it quickly, followed by Donnie Morse. Don Tapley in the number 15. Lloyd Washburn in the 60. Dave Langlis in the 93. Earl Glidden in the 76. And Ed Strong in the 104 round out your qualifiers. Coming up on the halfway mark indicates our starter. 8 laps down, 7 to go. Larry Gelinas, Donnie Morse have pulled away from the rest of the pack. Then comes the 15 of Don Tapley, the 93 of Dave Langlis, Earl Glidden and Lloyd Washburn, and the 104, Ed Strong, the final qualifier. Larry Gelinas, one of the hard chargers in this limited sportsman division, who is yet to capture a feature event, and I'm sure that this is one he would love to capture, seeing how it is a $1,000 to win payoff tonight for the limited sportsman. Donnie Morse in the runner-up spot has already captured a feature event. Always a strong runner here in this limited sportsman division. White flag in the air now, 1 lap to go. Larry Gelinas stretching it out a bit over Donnie Morse. And Morse has a comfortable lead over the 3rd place competitor, Tapley in the 15. Checkered flag in the air as Larry Gelinas captures heat number 2, followed by Donnie Morse, Don Tapley, Dave Langlis, Lloyd Washburn, and the 76 of Earl Glidden. Once again, 15 laps on tap and 7 to qualify for the main event. Tim Gendron and Dennis Quinn bring them down. We look for a start at turn 4. Green comes out. Tim Gendron from the inside into a quick lead, followed by Dennis Quinn. Then comes Gary Adams in the 74, Guy Poulin in the 32, Robbie Dorr in the 43, Dennis Hall in 94, and Beaver Norton in the 38. Problems on the number 32 of Poulin as he takes the car right into the infield. Tough break for Guy Poulin. Last qualifier at the moment would be the number 4. Tim Gendron continues to show the way. Comfortable lead over Dennis Quinn in the 06. Gary Adams in the 74. Robbie Dorr tonight in the 43. Then a gap back to 5th and 6th place cars. Dennis Hall in the 94, Beaver Norton in the 38. And then the last qualifier at the moment, Gordon Nelson in the 61. Coming up on the halfway mark, impressive run by Tim Gendron in the number 12 as he continues to put distance on the rest of the pack. Dennis Quinn now a lot of pressure from Gary Adams and Robbie Dorr for that second place position. And the battle continues between Dennis Hall and Beaver Norton for position 5. And a battle beginning to shape up for that last qualifying position now. Gordon Nelson holds the last qualifying position in number 61, but Dwight Shepard in the 34 has come a long way now. And the veteran certainly is looking to grab a qualifying position in tonight's 75-lap spectacular. Just 2 laps to go next time around. Last qualifying position still in the hands of Gordon Nelson in the 61. Dwight Shepard continues to close in, trying to grab that last qualifying position. 2 to go this time by. White flag is out, 1 to go. Tim Gendron has the point all to himself as he has continued to manage a comfortable lead. Checkered flag flies. Gendron, your winner. Quinn in second. Adams, Robbie Dorr, Dennis Hall, Gordon Nelson, and it appeared as though it was either the 38 or the 61, the last qualifier. Nice round of applause, please, for Tim Gendron, winner of heat number 3 in the Limited Sportsman Division. Driving the Jeff Waterman's Ultra Service Center number 12. Al Burset, making a recent return to the Speedway for 1991. On the pole, Paul Ross to his outside at turn 4. Green is out. 3 wide across the stripe. They tangle in turn 1. Burset does a nice job of hanging onto the car, but he loses the point to the 138 of Paul Ross and the 25 of Kevin Buck. Paul Ross with a slight lead, but Kevin Buck makes a strong challenge to the inside. Buck takes over the point, followed by Burset, and here comes the 54 of Rick Furnett. Lot of bumper tag going on in this heat number 4, and the cars get jostled around a bit. Top 4 break away just a little. Kevin Buck begins to stretch out a lead, but here comes the 54 of Rick Furnett on the move on the outside. Working to the outside of the 23 of Al Burset now. Rick Furnett takes over position 2. Last qualifier at the moment would be the 111 of Pee Wee Knight. Phil Furnett now the last qualifier in the number 66 as Knight is on the move in the 111. Rick Frenette closing it in now on race leader Kevin Buck. Frenette making a bid to the outside of race leader Kevin Buck now on the backstretch. Last qualifying position appears to be the 0. They are approaching the halfway mark, this time by 8 down, 7 to go. And the battle is for the lead. Kevin Buck to the inside, Rick Frenette to the outside. Across the stripes side by side, it continues to be a wheel-to-wheel battle for the point. Frenette now with a hard charge on the backstretch, tries to squeeze ahead of the 25. Can't quite do it as Buck battles back on the inside. Frenette by about a half a car length across the stripe, but Kevin Buck is back on the hammer to the inside. Frenette already a feature winner here in 1991. Kevin Buck, a driver who has been steadily improving, and obviously with a fine run tonight, gets the car a little sideways between turns 1 and 2. Does a nice job hanging on to it. And it continues the side-by-side battle. Kevin Buck to the inside, Rick Frenette to the outside. Still appears to be the 0, Gary Clough, your last qualifier. It will be 2 laps to go this time by. This time, Rick Frenette squeezes the 54 by, but here comes Buck again to the inside. Slight advantage, Rick Frenette from the outside. Frenette trying to get it down in the inside groove. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Rick Frenette, the new leader. Top 7 have broken away from the rest of the pack. As he coasts down to the start-finish line, a nice round of applause, please, for Rick Frenette, winning heat number 4 tonight. Driving the main cabinet distributors, number 54. The feature event is always a hard charger in this limited sportsman division. 10 laps on tap for heat number 1 of the late model sportsman division. All clear from flagman Eddie Walsh. Casey Nash in the 31, Steve Carrier in the 83. At turn 4, green is out. 3 wide across the line. Gary Pulsifer from spin by Bobby Libby into turn 1. Gary Pulsifer with a bold move from the inside. Second row on the inside, he dove to take over the point. Yellow flag flies as Bobby Libby is unable to refire the 34 in time. Ready to try it once again. Casey Nash and Steve Carrier with the all clear from flagman Eddie Walsh, having gone nowhere. Green is out. Problems on the 83 of Steve Carrier. Smoke pours from the back of the 83 and he takes it on a pit road. Looks like oil has been spilled at the top of turn 1. And the cars will go under caution once again. Bobby Libby gets the car turned about. All clear from the flag stand. This time Casey Nash has Gary Pulsifer is outside. Bobby Libby back out of the pit area. Green is out. Gary Pulsifer from the outside jumps into a quick lead. Working out and around rookie Casey Nash. Young Mike Mayetta on the move in the number 3 as he works around Nash in the 31. Rex Garrett also in the 51 on the move. Garrett, son of legendary Dick Garrett, making one of his few rare appearances here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Running strong tonight in the number 51. Kurt Gary back, I believe just the second time back in the number 88. They'll be approaching the halfway mark. Continues to be Gary Pulsifer showing the way, followed by Mike Mayetta Jr. Casey Nash is 3rd, Tim Land 4th, and Kurt Gary 5th. Spin by Rex Garrett now between turns 1 and 2. He gets the car refired and back underway. Looks to take the car on the pit road. Tim Land up to 3rd in the number 16. Kurt Gary to 4th as Casey Nash gets the car a little wide, opening up that inside groove. It will be just 2 to go this time by. Mike Mayetta Jr. has closed in on race leader Pulsifer. They have a comfortable lead over the rest of the pack. Kurt Gary now draws it even for a side-by-side battle for position number 3. And rookie Mike Mayetta looks for room beneath the 27 now. Couldn't quite find it. White flag, 1 lap to go. Young Mike Mayetta looks for room beneath the 27, and this time he finds it. Side by side at turn 3. Coming out of turn 4, wheel to wheel. Young Mike Mayetta grabs it at the line. Second generation racer in the Mayetta family, young Michael found the room just beneath the number 27 of Gary Pulsifer. Nice round of applause, please, for the driver number 3, Mike Mayetta Jr. This is a backup car for Mike as he sustained some heavy damage on his regular Camaro mount a few weeks ago. These are your high point men in the late model sportsman division. 10 laps on tap. Heat 2 for the late model sportsman drivers. Kerry Winslow and Joe Bowser occupy the front line. Picking up the pace, looking for a start at turn 4. Green is up. Kerry Winslow and Bowser both go wide. Winslow at the point, side-by-side battle for that second place position. Glenn Cusack to the inside, Joe Bowser to the outside. Bowser with the advantage gets the car back into second place position. Now Glenn Cusack and Bobby Babb are in a side-by-side battle for 3rd. Some of the very best late model sportsman cars and drivers anywhere in the Northeast. Kerry Winslow with a fine run, holding off the pressure of Joe Bowser in the 32. And then a wheel-to-wheel and bumper-to-bumper battle right straight through the back. of this second qualifier for the late models. Halfway point, 5 down and 5 to go. Goes a little wide. Joe Bowser tries to tuck it in there and couldn't quite do it. Continues to be Kerry Winslow at the point, followed by Joe Bowser. And Glenn Cusack in third. Bobby Harrison is fourth. Bobby Babb is fifth. And Paul Johnson, with the bumper stuck right under the back of the 37, is momentarily boxed in the number 35. 37 in front of him and the 4 to the outside. 2 laps to go now. Kerry Winslow wide once again. Bowser tried to take that inside groove, couldn't quite do it. Bobby Harrison now tries to find room beneath Cusack, and he does. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Bobby Harrison up to third. Paul Johnson working into fourth. Checkered flag in the air. Kerry Winslow captures heat number 2, followed by Joe Bowser, Bobby Harrison, Paul Johnson, and Mike Johnson. As he coasts down to the start-finish line, a nice round of applause, please, for Kerry Winslow. Looking for a start, we have green. Russ Johnson to the inside, Bobby Cotton to the outside, side by side through turn 1 to turn 2. On the backstretch, they draw it even once again. Advantage at turn 3. Cotton, but Johnson is right back to challenge from the inside. Slight advantage, Bobby Cotton bringing him down for lap number 1. Cotton continues a hard charge from the outside. Squeezes the car by, but Johnson will make a challenge once again on the inside. Young Bobby Cotton out of Tamworth, New Hampshire, shows the way in the number 17. On the move, Doug Shores. We have a spin out of turn 2. The 69 of Tim Maloney gets turned about. Still sitting there on the backstretch, finally gets the car refired, but not until the caution flag flies. With 2 laps down, ready to restart once again. Bobby Cotton to the inside, Russ Johnson to the outside. At turn 4, green is up. Bobby Cotton into a quick lead. Doug Shores right up the inside to challenge for second. As he works beneath the 19, takes over second into turn 3. Danny Palmer also on the move up the inside. Doug Shores trying to find a way to mount a challenge to the number 17. Bobby Cotton with a lot of pressure from Doug Shores to the outside, Danny Palmer to the inside. Tangle out of turn 4 leaves Spike Manitoul up on the inside apron along with Mark LeBlanc. Yellow flag will fly as neither car is able to refire. with 5 laps down. We have the all clear once again, looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Bobby Cotton with a slight advantage. Strong challenge from Doug Shores to his outside. Then comes Steve Howard in the 03, Danny Palmer in the 93, and Richard Bubba Pelton in the 27. Bobby Cotton and Doug Shores going at it wheel to wheel. Bobby Cotton with a slight advantage from the inside. Doug Shores continues to battle back on the outside. Steve Howard in the 03, looking for racing room, sitting there in 3rd place position. On the move up the outside in the number 14, Chris Rule. Just back, having recovered from some injuries just a few weeks ago, sustained in a crash in the number 14. The 07 ashore is experiencing some handling problems as the car got out of shape between turns 1 and 2, causing him to back out of it just a bit. Now the challenger to race leader Cotton is Steve Howard in the 03. Danny Palmer is 3rd. Side-by-side battle for 4th. Bubba Pelton in the 27, Doug Shores in the 07. Out of turn 4, Doug Shores gets the car turned about, along with Ken McLeod in the number 6. That will bring out the caution. Drivers have worked in the speedy dry, and we are ready to look for a restart once again. 13 laps down of this 30-lap Super Sportsman feature event. Pace car makes its way onto the infield pit road, looking for a start at turn 4. Green is up. Bobby Cotton once again at the point. Steve Howard now to his outside. Steve Howard gets it way out wide, right out over the stripe. That opens up the second groove for Bubba Pelton. They are approaching the halfway mark. It will be 15 down and 15 to go. Rookie Bobby Cotton in the number 17. Bubba Pelton in the 27, now his challenger to the outside. Pelton has captured 2 feature events thus far in 1991. Rookie Bobby Cotton still looking for feature event win number 1 on the 91 season. Out of turn 4, across the stripe, slight advantage. Pelton in the number 27. Through turns 1 and 2, side by side on the backstretch once again. Pelton with the advantage down to turn 3. Trying to squeeze the car entirely by the 17, couldn't quite do it. Half-car advantage across the stripe to Pelton. Little by little, he tries to squeeze the car by the 17. At turn 3, manages to get the 27 all the way by Bobby Cotton. And new leader, working lap 20. Bubba Pelton in the number 27, looking for win number 3 on the season. Bobby Cotton back to second, then comes Danny Palmer. David Bath in the number 5, and Chris Rule in the 14. Round out the top 5. Five laps to go this time by. 25 down and 5 to go. Richard Bubba Pelton, Scarborough, Maine. Little by little stretching out his lead over Bobby Cotton in the number 17. Chris Rule now making a bid to the outside of Danny Palmer. Eddie Walsh indicates it will be just 2 to go next time by. Chris Rule now wheel to wheel with Danny Palmer as they battle for the 3rd place position. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Spin on the backstretch by the number 5. Checkered flag out for Pelton in the 27. Cotton, Palmer, Rule, and Steve Howard for the top 5. Richard Bubba Pelton brings the number 27 down to collect the colors. He'll parade the checkered flag and then be back in the winner's circle. Bubba Pelton returns the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh. Fine run by rookie Bobby Cotton in the number 17. And we'll have an opportunity in just a few moments to see and hear from tonight's Super Sportsman feature winner, Richard Bubba Pelton in the number 27.
It's not his first time here in 1991. Give him a nice welcome back to Bubba Pelton. Bubba, congratulations. A fine job tonight.
Thank you, Andy. Car's been going really well, and I got to thank Barry Meserve. We've had quite a few problems lately, and he's come through quite a bit. He's helped me out quite a bit. And all my sponsors, too, Davis Brothers, Bracket Machine, Casco Bay Yard Exchange, Scarborough Auto Parts, everybody that helped me.
You kind of had to thread your way up through traffic a little bit tonight, and finally you got up behind Bobby Cotton, and you made a run for it. It looked like pretty easy pickings then. The car apparently very well dialed in.
Yeah, I got it going pretty well. Pretty happy with it.
So you're the first driver we've had a chance to talk with tonight. It seems to have cooled down a little bit out here. A breeze has picked up. But what is it like out there in competition, to give us an idea what the other drivers are experiencing?
The track's pretty good right now. I was pretty surprised with it because usually when it's hot, it's really slippery, but it's pretty good right now.
A nice breeze inside the car, we assume.
Not really.
I'd like to introduce you to Dick Wilcock from Budweiser Beers and National Distributors, tonight's sponsor. Dick?
Well, on a hot night, to the hottest driver out here so far, congratulations and many more victories to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And also tonight, Bubba, we should tell you that Big A Auto Parts has the $50 gift contingency award for the Super Sportsman division. $50 worth of parts for you to put into the car.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause to Bubba Pelton.
$15 laps on tap, 5 cars to qualify. Looking for a start at turn 4. We have green. Paul Driscoll from the outside. Cars tangle right into turn 1. Paul Driscoll collected hard there along with the 68. Will put the cars under caution. Chuck Haynes, obviously, more than a little bit upset with that tangle in turn 1. A lot on the line for these limited sportsman competitors tonight. And a tough break for Chuck Haynes and Paul Driscoll as they are eliminated in the first turn of the first lap of that consolation event, the last opportunity to grab a qualifying position for tonight's 75 lap limited sportsman spectacular. Ready to try it once again with an all clear from flagman Eddie Walsh. Alan Burraby and Larry Vos this time occupy the front line. At turn 4, green is out. Remember, only 5 drivers to qualify for the main event. Alan Burraby with a slight advantage over Larry Vos. Then comes Don Miner and Mike Field battling for third place position. Jeff Morgan is in 4th. Ed Strong in 5th. I'm sorry, Jeff Morgan, the 5th place car and final qualifier at the moment. Alan Burraby having worked himself out to about a 2 to 3 car length lead over Mike Field. Mike Field closes it up just a bit. Jeff Morgan on the move as he works beneath Larry Vos in the 67, takes over the 3rd place position. And 5th place to Don Miner in the 53. At the moment, he is the final qualifier. Morgan on the move in the number 7. He works to the outside of Mike Field, now to the outside of race leader Alan Burraby. Jeff Morgan to the outside of the 50 and into the lead out of the 2-turn on the backstretch. Working in lap 6, new leader Jeff Morgan. Don Miner on the move in the number 21 as he works himself up into the 5th place position. Don Culprit, rather, in the 21. Top 5 pulling away from the rest of the pack as they approach the halfway point. 8 down, 7 to go. Don Culprit on the move in the number 21 as he works to the outside of Larry Vos in the 67. Trying to take over the 4th place position. Now up beside 3rd place competitor Mike Field. Culprit now looks to the outside of the number 50 of Alan Burraby. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates it will be just 2 to go next time by. Have a car at the bottom of turn 2. Looks like the 87 of Bob Collette.
Nothing. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Nothing beats a bud.
Looking for a restart at turn 4 with 12 laps down. Jeff Morgan, Alan Burraby. Green is out. Jeff Morgan right from the point brings Don Culprit right up the inside to take over 2nd place. Mike Field up to 3rd. Burraby back to 4th. Vos in 5th. 2 laps to go. Up into 5th now, Ed Strong. White flag in the air. Jeff Morgan continues to show the way over Don Culprit. Mike Field, Larry Vos, and Ed Strong, the last qualifier. Checkered flag in the air. Jeff Morgan captures the first consolation event. Burraby is 2nd, Mike Field. Coasting down to the start-finish line. Jeff Morgan, the winner of consolation number 1 in the Limited Sportsman Division, and thus grabbing a qualifying position for tonight's Budweiser Limited Sportsman Spectacular. All clear from Junior Niles atop the flag stand. Dwight Shepard and Phil Furnett, a couple of veterans of racing here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, occupy the front row. Flagman points to turn 4, asks them to pick it up just a little bit. Green is out. Dwight Shepard right from the pole. 3 abreast racing down into turn 1. Phil Weber battling to take over the 3rd spot. Robert Bodwell is 4th. Phil Furnett 5th. Bob Doak looking for a qualifying position, trying to get beneath the 56 of Robert Bodwell. Battle is for 5th. Bob Doak to the inside, Phil Furnett to the outside. Bob Doak with the advantage from the inside as Phil Fournette goes wide, tangle in turn 3. As the 66 and the 80, Phil Fournette and Darrell Ward get together up at the top of turn 3. All clear once again, 3 laps down. Looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. White Shepherd once again jumps into a quick lead over John Maycomer. Phil Weber in the 79 trying to take over second place beneath the 96 of Maycomer. Phil Weber up to second. Now the battle is for third. Robert Bodwell slides beneath the 96 of Maycomer. Number 4 would be the last qualifier. That's Spanky Anderson behind the wheel of the number 4 tonight. White Shepherd with a substantial lead now over second place Phil Weber. 5th place. Final qualifying spot is still the number 4. Challenge for that final qualifying position now. Bob Doak in the 33. Races beneath the number 4 of Spanky Anderson. And it's a side-by-side battle for that last qualifying position. Halfway point coming up. And the side-by-side battle continues. The race is for that last qualifying position. Bob Doak in the 33. Spanky Anderson in the number 4. In the number 1 turn. All the drivers do a nice job of getting out and around John Maycomer as bumpers got hooked together and the 96 of John Maycomer got turned about. The drivers should be ready to look for green next time around at turn 4. Ten laps down, ready to restart. White Shepherd on the point. Green is out. Shepherd jumps back into a quick lead over Phil Weber. Then comes Robert Bodwell, Bob Doak, and Spanky Anderson, rounding out the top 5 and the final qualifying positions. White Shepherd with an impressive show of strength in the number 34. Yet to grab a feature event this year, but certainly very capable of doing so. Shepherd, one of the real veterans here at the Speedway. And obviously a very strong runner tonight in the number 34. 2 laps to go this time by. Still that final qualifying position in the hands of Spanky Anderson in the number 4. White flag out, 1 to go. 29 of Wiles gets out of shape out into the sand. Everybody stays clear. Checkered flag in the air. Dwight Shepard drafts Consi number 2. Phil Weber, Robert Bodwell, Bob Doak, and unofficially the number 4, Spanky Anderson, rounding out the top 5. And as the 34 coasts down to the start-finish line, a nice round of applause, please, for Dwight Shepard, winner of Consi number 2 in the Limited Sportsman Division. Thus, rounding out the field. Next on the agenda, the Late Model Sportsman feature event. 35 laps on tap for the Late Model Sportsman. All clear from flagman Eddie Walsh atop the flag stand. Pace car makes its way to the infield pit road. Gary Paulson going down. Mike Mayer on the front row at turn 4. Green is out. Pulsiver from the inside with a quick lead into turn 1. Here comes Barry Babb challenging for the second position beneath the number 3 of Mike Mayer. Barry Babb now looks for room beneath the 27, and he finds it. Up to challenge from the inside. Barry Babb, the new leader, out of turn 2, down the backstretch. Barry Babb looking for feature event win number 1 of the 1991 season. At the point of tonight's Late Model Sportsman feature event. Spin by Kerry Winslow in turn 2. All the drivers find a way above or beneath the 22. He gets it back underway. We stay under green. Barry Babb continues with an impressive run at the point, turning the track in about 15.60 seconds. High Point men start on the handicap system. The more points accumulated, the farther back in the lineup they start. Better than a second lead over second place competitor Mike Maeta Jr. Then comes Joe Bowser. Bobby Babb up to 4th in the number 4. 5th place to Glenn Cusack in the number 2. Mike Maeta on the move in the number 13 as he works his way around the 27 of Gary Pulsifer. Problems on the 71 of Randy Sanborn as he is taking the car out on the apron. Appears to be headed to pit road. Andy Liu, Bobby Randall, Paul Johnson also on the move in the outside groove as they begin their march from the very back of the pack toward the front. Bobby Babb now up to challenge to the outside of Joe Bowser in the number 32. Babb right out over the apron, gets the car a little out of shape, collects it back up. Reins in the 32 once again. Second place competitor Maeda appears to have closed the gap a little bit on Babb. Bowser now making a bid to the outside of young Mike Maeda, as perhaps the pressure of Bobby Babb coming on has put a little bit more push on the number 32. Joe Bowser now up to second place as he has worked his way around the number 3. Bobby Babb now to the outside of young Maeda. Coming up on the halfway point. Barry Babb now with about a 2-car length lead over Joe Bowser. Then comes Bobby Babb up into third place. Mike Maeda Jr. is fourth, and Glenn Cusack is fifth. Joe Bowser now trying to mount a challenge to the 0 of Barry Babb. Bobby Babb now right up to get into the thick of things. Joe Bowser now tries it to the outside of the 0 once again. Barry Babb to the inside, Joe Bowser to the outside. Then comes Bobby Babb in third. Mike Maeda is fourth. Glenn Cusack fifth. Here comes Mike Maeda Sr. up into sixth place position. Barry Babb, Joe Bowser, wheel-to-wheel battle. Babb continues to hang on to the point. All kinds of pressure from Bowser to the outside and brother Bobby Babb to the inside. Mike Maeda Sr. has come up now all the way to challenge for fifth, working to the outside of Glenn Cusack. Mike Maeda takes over the fourth place position. So now we have two brothers and a father and son in the top 5. The Babb brothers and the father-son combination of Mike Maeda Sr. and Mike Maeda Jr. Paul Johnson now getting up into the thick of things. Barry Babb continues to hold a slight advantage over Joe Bowser, coming on a lap traffic now, and that's going to present a problem perhaps for Babb. As he is on the inside groove, he's coming up on Casey Nash, and we'll have to move out to the outside of the 31 of Nash. Nash holds it right down on the rim, and that allows the leaders to get on by. Barry Babb, Joe Bowser continue to go at it wheel to wheel. Bobby Babb is third. Mike Maeda now up to the outside of son Michael. Mike Maeda now looking for racing room as he is boxed in. Barry Babb, Joe Bowser, wheel to wheel, lap after lap. Bowser now with a slight advantage across the stripe. New leader. Working lap number 33, Joe Bowser from the outside. Barry Babb now has Mike Mayetta Sr. to his outside. Be just 2 laps to go. Joe Bowser, Mike Mayetta, Barry Babb. Paul Johnson now follows Mayetta on the outside, trying to take over that 3rd place position. Coming up on the 51 of Rex Garrett. They move on by okay. White flag is in the air. They're in their last lap. Joe Bowser has Mike Mayetta now right at the back bumper. Paul Johnson, Barry Babb, and Bobby Babb. Checkered flag in the air. Bowser, Mayetta, Paul Johnson, Barry Babb, and Bobby Babb. Fine run by Joe Bowser in the number 32. Joe Bowser down to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh. He'll make his parade lap and then be back. And we'll have an opportunity to hear from tonight's late model sportsman feature event winner, Joe Bowser. Bowser driving a 91 Chevy Lumina, sponsored by the Maine State Academy of Hair Design, along with Waterman's Ultra Service Center, High Torque Engines, Penny Saver, along with Oak Hill Dry Cleaners. First feature event in the 1991 season for Joe Bowser. Always a hard charger. Put it all together tonight. Returns the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh.
Joe, the sweater's just pouring off you. You have to be panting after a race like that. That was incredible.
Yeah, I want to thank my crew. We've had all the hard luck all year. We've been crashing and burning. And geez, they've been sticking in there, working hard, spending all their nights off working on the car, and couldn't have done it without them. And I want to thank Jeff Waterman, the crew chief, and everyone else involved, and all my sponsors, Maine State Academy, Futura Stone, Northeast Glass, Don Latat Race Cars, High Torque Engines, everybody. I want to thank them all because I couldn't have done it without any of them.
Well, I'll tell you, that show out there tonight, the heat was pouring down, and maybe one of the classic moves was between you and Barry Babb. You came up on Casey Nash in the 31, and I don't know how Barry Babb fit through there, but you guys worked excellently together. You're to be commended. What was going on for you out there?
Well, I figured Barry would. I tried to get myself positioned so when that did happen that I'd have a little, you know, I didn't know. I figured for sure he'd set her out there, so I tried to leave him a little room, and he did. So it worked out all right that way.
Well, I'll tell you, if ever a race was earned, tonight it was it, and it was yours, and we congratulate you. Dick Wilcock from Budweiser Beer and National Distributors has the award. Dick?
I think this is becoming a habit because it seems to me last year when I was out here I presented you this trophy. And again, a great drive out there, and to be commended, and all kinds of success in the future, and a great race.
I want to thank everybody involved once again because couldn't have done it without them. The crew especially, they're great.
Again, a fantastic job, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for late model sportsman winner, Joe Bowser.
Now for the drawing of the top 10 starting positions, we go trackside once again to Andy Cusack. Andy?
Thank you, Bruce. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at you on the front stretch at this time are your top 10 qualifiers from tonight's heat events in the contest for the Budweiser Limited Sportsman Spectacular 75-lap Limited Sportsman race coming up right after this intermission break. To throw a little twist into things, the drivers now who've qualified for the top 10 spots will redraw for those top 10 spots on the starting feature field. Jim Emerson, who won the pole position by his heat event, will now draw. Will he be able to get the pole? Will he start 10th or somewhere in between? There's the question, and Jim Emerson, the first draw belongs to you. Good luck. This is your lucky night, Jim. Pole position for Jim Emerson. Next to draw, man, I can't believe that. The number 37, Larry Gelinas. Man, we mixed them up so good, and the guy who qualified second is drawn number 2 for the start. Oh, that's good. Go back to the pit if you're all going to draw the same spots. Third place qualified to date in car number 12, Tim Gendron. The luck kind of ran out there, Tim, but you'll start 7th on the field tonight. Good luck to you, Tim. To draw the next Budweiser beer can in car number 54, welcome forward Rick Frenette. Rick Frenette will go from 4th to a 6th place starting spot on the grid. Good luck to you tonight, Rick. No, you can't take the beer back with you. Besides, it's warm. Next to draw from car number 24, qualified 5th to date, Danny Bubar. He says he doesn't even want to look at it. I wouldn't blame you. You know what? You got 10. Tough break, Danny Bubar. We wish you the best of luck. Next to draw, having qualified 6th to date, number 75, Donnie Morse. Third place still available, however, 9th place is the draw for Donnie Morse. Welcome forward next from car number 06, Dennis Quinn. Dennis will move up to a 5th place starting spot on the field. Congratulations, Dennis. Good luck to you. Car number 25 will be next to draw. Please welcome forward Kevin Buck. Picking up the Budweiser beer can, he says, I will take it because he has advanced to the 3rd starting spot from 8th. Positions 4 and 8 still remain, says Junior Niles, so please welcome forward the next one to draw, having already qualified 9th. He could better his spot. Welcome out Billy Thompson. He says he bettered at 1. That's an 8th place spot in the final to draw car number 15, Don Tapley Jr. That's qualified at position number 4 from a former 10th place spot. We wish you luck, Don. Gentlemen, good luck to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome them off, congratulate them, and send them off to the 75-lap feature event. Bruce Elder will go back to you for just a moment, and then we'll have a chance to talk with Dale Dorman and the Dale Earnhardt Goodwrench Chevrolet. Bruce?
Thank you, Andy.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a nice New England welcome to a gentleman from Welcome, North Carolina, Dale Dorman. Well, Dale, good evening, and welcome to Scarborough, Maine. It's always like this here, hot as can be year-round.
Yeah, I believe that. I really, they told me, said, Dale, we're sending you to Maine. We're going to let you take a nice, cool trip, take a couple of weeks off, and bask in the cool temperatures. And what do you guys do to me? I mean, we got this mess in North Carolina, you know.
We had a chance to talk with you a little bit earlier during the day, Dale. Interesting life of your own, in addition, of course, to working on Dale Earnhardt's Goodwrench Chevrolet. But first of all, tell us about the car. You're out here just getting up to speed a little bit, and this car isn't exactly made for a 3rd mile, is it?
No, basically, this is a car that we ran last year. It's a 1990 Chevy Lumina naturally, V8 powered, 358 cubic inch, about 700 horsepower. We ran it last year in Phoenix, we ran it in Dover, we ran it in Rockingham. And anybody that keeps up with us knows that maybe we won in Dover and we won in Phoenix, so this car is a winner. It won 6 times in the last 2 years. What we've basically done is taken cars that are last in line and taken them out for shows and things of this nature, trying to clean up Dale's image a little bit, you know.
Did he need any of that?
Well, the last thing he told me was, don't go out there and spoil my image. And I said, well, that'd be real hard to do, so, you know.
You really work with Dale Earnhardt, too. A lot of people might be under the impression that Dale Dorman is hired on and Richard Childress says jump in this trailer and tow it around. But I mean, you have worked with Dale Earnhardt at the racetracks.
I spent 10 years, 9 seasons with Richard Childress Racing. I go all the way back to the days when Ricky Rudd drove the car. Spent 5 years as a right rear tire changer. Got hit by a race car in Talladega about 2 years ago. Maybe, I guess it was 3 years ago now. Broke both my legs, my left hand, and they said, well, we got a job for you. We're going to create a show car program, and, you know, the luck you've been having, maybe you can do that. I think I was costing them so much money, they said, hey, we'll give you this job. So we've been doing this now for 2 years. And we take the car. I went all the way to Anchorage, Alaska last year with this car. Saw 30,000 race fans all the way up in Anchorage. And it's a good program, but I did spend a lot of years racing. I also spent 3 years, I guess, with Roger Penske. Won Indy 500 2 times, worked with Al Unser Sr. I was a fueler on that team, and you guys probably remember the IndyCar fire they had. I don't remember what year it exactly was. I got a scar on this leg to show for that one. So it seems like that that's when I'm driving out here. The next thing is going to be probably climbing one of those walls or something over there. But I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, you might say.
Well, tell us a little bit. You've worked for Roger Penske, Al Unser Sr., Richard Childress, Dale Earnhardt. What are those people like? I mean, they're, to a lot of us, are just names on the television during a nationally televised race, and famous names at that. But what are they like as people?
Well, they're all really nice people. I worked with Roger Penske, and as I told you today, he taught me a lot about racing. I was a 17-year-old kid coming out of South Texas off of a hay ranch down there my dad has. And I tell you, I knew nothing. I did everything halfway, and boy, when I got with Penske, it was no more of that stuff. And Richard Childress is probably the best man I've ever worked for in my life. I can't say enough about him. Last year, of all things, I slipped up in Detroit coming out of the back of the trailer and broke my left foot. And, yeah, I did. And so I was off for about 4 weeks, and he paid me every week, and you can't say enough for about a man like that. I mean, he's just a super guy. Dale Earnhardt, Dale's a really nice guy, and I know it's hard for some of you guys to believe, but he is. He's a super guy. Dale says what he means, and I basically, whenever he says it, he means it, and whatever he says he's going to do. And sometimes he's a little aggressive, but I think, as I've seen tonight here, some of these guys are too, you know.
A lot of these guys aspire to have Dale Earnhardt's style, and I'm sure you can appreciate that. How does a kid from out in Texas at 17 years old get hooked up with Roger Penske?
It's a real funny story. When I was about 16 years old, I thought, I told you today, I didn't think I would ever do anything but play in a band. I was playing in a band down there in Pasadena, Texas. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Gillies. I was the house drummer out there. And we went to Indianapolis, Indiana to play a Christmas party for Roger Penske. And I had a race boat, and I just told one of the crew chiefs, I said, you know, if you ever need a truck driver, I can do that. And I didn't think in 100 years I'd ever, but I must have made an impression on him about 2 years later or 6, or I don't know. I got a call one day on the answer machine. It says, Dale, this is Steve Havness with Penske Racing. Call me. I called him up. He says, can you come to work for us and be here Monday? And I said, maybe. So I checked out things, and I got there on Monday. I started over in Reading, Pennsylvania. Big difference from Pasadena, Texas, I'll tell you that right now. But that's how I got started, and it was just on a fluke, and I've been with him ever since. So,
what about the switch over to Richard Childress out of IndyCar racing onto the Winston Cup?
Richard offered me a job. I took a race car down to get worked on down at Richard's shop, and I was down about 3 or 4 days, and we got to talking and having a good time. And he told me, he says, if you ever get tired of IndyCar racing, call me up. And I said, well, you know, I'm working with a good crew. After a couple of years of over there at Indianapolis, I don't know if anybody's ever been to Indianapolis for the Indy 500, but 2 times is plenty. And I decided that I wanted to go back down south and get into NASCAR, and I called Richard up, and he says, I'll send you a ticket. Can you be here in 2 days? And I said, well, I need to give a couple of weeks' notice. He said, well, give the notice and come on. I'll find you a job. And he gave me a job driving the tractor trailer, and I just kind of progressed into NASCAR. So it's worked out good for me, really.
And then you got elected to get, as we understand, being the single guy, which we understand happens a lot in Winston Cup racing. You get shifted onto the show car deal, and you've been doing a lot of traveling with that. This is your New England sweep. Where have you been in the past few days?
Well, I don't think we have enough time for that, but basically what happened was they told me that they needed somebody to take the show car program over, so I said, I'll do it, but I'm not going to sit in an office. So I come out here and I run the show car. We have 5 cars out right now doing tours. We have West Coast, East Coast, special events cars. We have cars, you never know where you may see a Dale Earnhardt car. We do all the commercials that you see on TV. We're responsible for doing that, unless Dale has a part, and we do all that. But yeah, being single, they said, hey, you know, you're the only single guy that we got, so it's your job now. And I was home the last time I was at home, which is, I still am from Texas. I really don't live in Welcome. I got an apartment there, and I have a place in Pasadena. The last time I was in Pasadena, Texas, where my parents are and my family is, was the 26th of December. So that's the last time I've even seen my family. And that's how much traveling we do. I basically run 7 days a week, usually 12, 15, 18 hours per day. I started this morning at 8 o'clock, and I'm sure we're going to be here a while tonight.
If you get the opportunity to get back on the pit crew team for Dale Earnhardt, will you make that move? Will we be seeing you on television at the pit stops, or are you going to stick with us for a while?
They asked me last weekend in Loudon would I be interested in changing the right rear tire on the Busch car, and I said, well, with my luck, you know, the thing would fall off the jack and kill me or something. You know? But I said, no, you know, I kind of handle the guys up in the suites and stuff. Plus, it was hot out there. Why sweat if you don't have to, you know? No, that's not true. But anyway, I don't think I will. We're going to progress this show car program next year into about 8 cars. We're going to run 2 or 3 tractor trailer rigs around with parts displays on them, GM parts, and we're going to have race cars inside them. And we're going to develop this thing. We want to expand the promotions into it because we're just getting to be, we just signed 3 more years with Goodwrench, and we're going to be with Goodwrench for 3 more years. And so things are really looking up. I think we're going to try to progress this show car program a little bit and see if we can't. It's getting to be nowadays promotions are just as much a part of racing as the actual racing. So, you know, we go to these shows like we were at today, and you see these guys bringing their race cars out. I actually saw one of these cars today that races here tonight. I won't mention any names. And he was painting his tires on the thing. I'm telling you guys, that's going wrong. We do that, but I didn't think anybody else was that stupid. But I guess they're, you know, and I'm not calling him stupid. I'm just saying that, gosh, I couldn't believe it, you know. Unbelievable.
A lot of pride goes into the work, and we should thank Forest City Chevrolet for bringing the Dale Earnhardt Goodwrench Chevrolet to the dealership today and for affording us the opportunity to have it here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. So we certainly thank the folks at Forest City Chevrolet for that. You will be here, Dale, at the conclusion of tonight's show?
Yeah, if these guys want to take a look at the car, I'll stick around, and we'll put it out here and let you walk up and actually take a look inside one of these machines. If that's what they want, you can ask them, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, it's phenomenal to look inside. What do you think? Do you want to take a look at Dale Earnhardt's car? We thought maybe you might want to. And if you've never seen a Winston Cup car up close, this is, I don't know if I should say the next best thing to Richard Petty's car, but always. I don't think there'll ever be another King. I'm certain of that. But this is the next best thing to Richard Petty's car, we'll say, and this is certainly the winningest car around right now. It's a good chance for you to look at it tonight. And Dale, we thank you for being here with us in Scarborough, Maine.
Well, it's good to be here. It's one thing we always say about Richard Petty. There's 2 types of NASCAR fans. There's Richard Petty fans, and then everybody has their favorite race car driver. But I tell you one thing, down in Daytona this year when Richard went ahead down there in that Busch Clash, or actually got up 2nd place, I guess, I think we all cried. I'm going to tell you, man, that was something else. Richard's a heck of a guy, and I'd sure like to see him win one more, and I know these guys would too. And maybe we'll get the chance this year, I hope.
I think everybody's pulling for him. I don't think there's any question about that. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a 75-lap feature race still to remain, the only thing left for us tonight, and a lot to be on the line for the Budweiser $1,000 winner's prize. Before we get to that business, I'd like you to give a nice warm thank you to Dale Dorman with the Dale Earnhardt Goodwrench Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, Start your engines. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the cars begin down the front stretch, let's give them a nice wave off. Wave your hat, your hand, your handkerchief. Light your lighter if you have one. Let these drivers know that you're sending them off with your best wishes for a safe race. 2 more warm-up laps to go. One final warm-up lap, ladies and gentlemen, and we should be ready to look for green at turn 4. Flagman Eddie Walsh asks the drivers to close it up now and even it up. Looking for a bumper-to-bumper and wheel-to-wheel start for this 75-lap Limited Sportsman Spectacular. All clear from atop the flag stand as the drivers stage one final time on the backstretch. Pace car will make its way onto the infield pit road. Jimmy Emerson and Larry Gelinas bring the field down, looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Jimmy Emerson right from the pole with a quick jump into the lead. Larry Gelinas closes it in to second. Kevin Buck is third. Dennis Quinn fourth. Tim Gendron to fifth. Dave Fecto on the move on the backstretch. Jimmy Emerson brings him down for lap number 1. Big field of cars and a lot of drivers at the back end have to be concerned about not getting a lap down early. Field 10 cars more than a traditional start here on a Saturday night. Jimmy Emerson with about a 4 to 5 car length advantage over Larry Gelinas. Gelinas with a big advantage over Kevin Buck in third. Then comes Dennis Quinn to fourth. Side-by-side battle now for fifth. Tim Gendron, Donnie Morse. Rick Furnett working to the outside of Dave Fecto now. continues to put distance on Larry Gelinas, and Larry Gelinas continues with his comfortable lead over Kevin Buck. And then things get thick. From the third position on back, Donnie Morse now again working on the outside of Tim Chenry, trying to advance to that top 5. Jimmy Emerson already up to begin to lap some of the cars at the back of the pack. We'll have a lot of traffic to deal with tonight. We have an extended field of cars, 42 cars in the field tonight. Sparks continue to pour from beneath the 42 of Kurt Beech. Jimmy Emerson up now to work his way around the 42 of Beech. He has Spanky Anderson also to the outside of the 42. This will allow second place competitor Larry Gelinas an opportunity to close it up a little bit more on race leader Jim Emerson, because Emerson is going to have to more or less clear the way through the lap traffic. Officials keeping an eye on the 42 of Kurt Beech. Must feel that it is nothing dangerous. 23 now with a puff of smoke. Problems on the 76 of Earl Glidden also as he moves in over the speed bumps to the infield side. Problems on the number 4 of Spanky Anderson as he takes the car right out over the apron. Larry Gelinas now up to make a bid to pass the race leader, number 73. Couldn't quite do it. Jimmy Emerson now in heavy traffic. Black flag now going out to the 23 of Al Burset. Jimmy Emerson and Larry Gelinas in heavy traffic. Al Burset takes the 23 on a pit road. Jimmy Emerson and Larry Gelinas now with some heavy traffic to deal with. Bob Doak back out of the backstretch pit area. Spin on the front stretch. David Wiles gets the number 29 turned about. Will try to refire the car. Unable to do so. And that will bring out the caution flag. But right now, with 18 laps down, we are ready to restart at turn 4. Once again, Jimmy Emerson. Larry Gelinas at turn 4. Green is out. Jimmy Emerson right back into a quick lead. Gelinas drops down to the inside. Donnie Morse up to third. Dave Fecto is fourth. Rick Furnett in a side-by-side battle with Billy Thompson for fifth. Jimmy Emerson showing all kinds of strength tonight in the number 73, has once again jumped out to a quick lead. Side-by-side battle shaping up for second. Donnie Morse dives to the inside of the number 37 of Larry Gelinas. Jelinas goes wide. Donnie Morse is up to second. Here comes Dave Fecto to third, followed by Rick Furnett. Inside Groove on the move. Also Pee Wee Knight on the move in the 111. Cars tangle between turns 1 and 2. Larry Jelinas, Billy Thompson do a nice job of hanging onto those cars and getting them straight. Got to be a tire going down or some problem on the 37 of Larry Jelinas, it would appear, as the car seems to have developed quite a push. Dave Fecto on the move now as he works to the outside of Donnie Morse. Dave Fecto, current point leader in the Limited Sportsman division. Up and drew it even with Donnie Morse. Then Morse was able to pull back ahead and secure that second place to himself once again. Rick Furnett trying to close it up now and challenge beneath Dave Fecto. Continues in an outside groove as the inside lane has been filled now and really has no place else to go if he cannot work himself around the 75 and get to the inside groove. He's going to have to drop back and follow the 54. Fecto continues to have problems in that outside groove, has to back out of it and drop back now behind the 54 of Rick Furnett. Jimmy Emerson working around the lap car of David Wiles in the 29. Continues to hold a comfortable lead, nearly a straightaway lead over Donnie Morse in second place. Rick Furnett is third, Pee Wee Knight fourth. Danny Buvar now up to fifth place position. Tangle in the 3-turn. Larry Jelinas sits at the top of the 3-turn, and that will bring out the caution flag once again. Final staging for our second restart of the evening. Pace car makes its way onto the infield pit road. Jimmy Emerson, Donnie Morse. Green is out. Jimmy Emerson right back at the point. Pee Wee Knight dives beneath the 75 of Donnie Morse. Takes over the second place position. Rick Furnett. A lot of pressure now to the back of the number 75. Don Colbert on the move in the number 21. As is Robbie Dorr in the 43. Steve Norton also on the outside in the number 38. word from scoring is that the 78 Dave Fecto penalized 4 positions for jumping on the last restart. Leader continues to be Jimmy Emerson, the number 73. Pee Wee Knight in the 111, and they have put some distance now on third place competitor Donnie Morse. And Donnie Morse has a lot of pressure from the number 21, Don Culpert, and the 24 of Danny Bubar. Robin Buckwell back on the pit road. Battle is for third. Don Culpert working to the outside of Donnie Morse. Out of turn 4. Across the stripe. Takes over the third place position. Like Minity Walsh indicates, they'll be coming up on the halfway point this time by. Problems on the Scott Chapman, number 85, as he appears to be headed toward the backstretch pit area. Jimmy Emerson able to stretch out a bit of the lead now on Pee Wee Knight. Top 3 cars strung out. Don Culpert in third place position. Donnie Morse is 4th. Rick Burnett is 5th. Then comes Danny Bubar in 6th. Dennis Quinn 7th. Billy Thompson is 8th. Tim Jenner 9th. And Robbie Dorr unofficially 10th. Danny Bubar able to work by Rick Burnett. Tangle on the backstretch as a car is up against the backstretch wall. And that will put the cars under caution once again. It's the 125 of Mark Huzzy. We'll give you a report as soon as we have one. Word from the safety crew is that the driver is okay. Mark Huzzy up against the backstretch wall and then out into the middle of the track. All clear from atop the flag stand. 46 laps recorded on the leaderboard. Pace car makes its way to the infield pit road. This time, Jimmy Emerson and Pee Wee Knight. Green flag at turn 4. Emerson jumps right back into a quick lead. This time, Pee Wee Knight tries to mount a challenge to the outside. Unable to draw it even. Drops in behind Jimmy Emerson as they work the backstretch down through turns 3 and 4. Donnie Morse working the outside now, trying to find a way to advance from his 5th place position. Instead of that, he has to drop back in behind the 54 of Rick Furnett. Jimmy Emerson unable to pull away from the 111 of Pee Wee Knight this time. As Knight stays right at the rear bumper of race leader Emerson. And things have tightened up at the front. 21 of Don Colbert in 3rd place position. Danny Bubar is 4th. Rick Furnett is 5th. As the top 5 have broken away just a bit. Jimmy Emerson gets it a little out of shape between turns 1 and 2. Pee Wee Knight looked to the inside, wasn't quite room enough. A lot of pressure continues from Pee Wee Knight in 2nd place to race leader Jimmy Emerson. Problems on the 34 of Dwight Shepard as he is headed to the backstretch pit road area. On the backstretch, the 54 of Rick Furnett on the move now, as he is mounting a challenge to the outside of 3rd place competitor Don Colbert in the 21. Pee Wee Knight looks to the outside of race leader Jim Emerson once again. Things tightening up as the laps wind down. Now as Knight moves to the outside groove, that will open up the inside for Don Colbert. Don Colbert up to challenge for that 2nd place position now. Colbert going wheel to wheel with Pee Wee Knight for the 2nd place position. Danny Bubar in 4th. Rick Furnett, Donnie Morse battling for 5th. Spin up at the top of turn 3. Mike Field just clears the number 6 of Billy Thompson. Race leader Jimmy Emerson into some lap traffic now. Has to deal with the 61 of Gordon Nelson and the 29 of David Wiles. Darrell Ward headed to the backstretch pit area with a number 80. Problems on the 0 of Gary Klopp as he also appears to be headed to the backstretch pit area. Jimmy Emerson continues to show the way. Don Colbert is 2nd. Danny Bubar 3rd. Pee Wee Knight back to 4th. Rick Furnett is 5th. Cars hooked together, head into the front stretch wall off the side of turn 1. That will put the field under caution once again. Is to be the 60 of Lloyd Washburn up against the retaining wall. He is out of the car, apparently okay. Car's back in a proper alignment. All clear once again from atop the flag stand. Jimmy Emerson, Don Culprit will bring the field down to turn 4. They pick up the pace. Green is out. Jimmy Emerson, Don Culprit, Pee Wee Knight on the move on the outside. Danny Bubar, Rick Frenette. Top 5 once again. Pull away from the rest of the field. Battle is for second. Pee Wee Knight to the outside. Don Culprit to the inside. Side by side battle waged for that second place position. The 111 slips just a little bit. Danny Bubar up now. Side by side battle for third with Pee Wee Knight. Drivers having trouble with the outside groove. Pee Wee Knight has slipped back. Tangle out of turn 4. The 29 of David Wiles turned about once again. And the yellow flag will fly once again. Once again, Jimmy Emerson. And Don Culprit bring the field down. Looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Once again, Jimmy Emerson jumps back into a quick lead. Donnie Culprit is second. Danny Bubar third. Pee Wee Knight is fourth. Rick Frenette battling with Billy Thompson for the 5th place position. Battle is for 5th. Rick Frenette and Billy Thompson side by side on the backstretch. Laps winding down. It will be just 5 to go, indicates Eddie Walsh as they cross the stripe. 70 laps down, 5 to go. Jimmy Emerson, approximately 1 car length lead over Donnie Culprit. Then comes Danny Bubar, Pee Wee Knight. Billy Thompson now in the 5th place position. Jimmy Emerson will see the 2 flags next time by, indicating just 2 more laps to go. He has led it the entire way. 2 to go this time by. Jimmy Emerson. Impressive run in the number 73, followed by Donnie Copeland, Denny Bubar, Kiwi Knight, and Billy Thompson via top 5. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Rick Frenette up to challenge Billy Thompson for that 5th place position. They go at it side by side. Rick Frenette with the advantage. Out of turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Jimmy Emerson claims the Limited Sportsman Spectacular, having led the entire 75-lap event. Former modified competitor Jimmy Emerson coasts down to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh. Will make his parade lap and then be back. And we'll have an opportunity to hear from tonight's winner of the Budweiser Limited Sportsman Spectacular, Jimmy Emerson out of Windham, Maine, driving a Pontiac Le Mans. The car is sponsored by Subway Sandwich Shop along with Cobb's Collision Center, Floyd Brown Construction, Doors Marine Service, some of the folks helping the Emerson crew, and they have certainly done their homework well for this one. Outstanding run by Donnie Colbert in the number 21, and also by Danny Bubar in the number 24. Jimmy Emerson returns the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh.
Danny, congratulations. What was it like out there for you tonight?
Hi, Andy. It was some hot. I thought the track was a little bit slick. No one really could look like they were going on the outside too good. I'll tell you, it's a hot one. Cars run about 220. And you can imagine what it feels like in there.
A few laps to go. Did you think you had the ability to get by the 2 cars ahead of you?
Now, I think we was all pretty even matched, and there's nothing I could do. I just figured I'd just sit and ride it out, hope I wouldn't make a mistake, and hold on a 3rd.
Well, here's a nice, good-sized trophy to remind you of the efforts put forward tonight from Dick Wilcott, Budweiser Beers, and National Distributors.
Danny, on behalf of the people that work for National Distributors and Budweiser, I'd like to present you with this trophy on a great race. I think the whole field can be really commended for the way they handle themselves and the way they raced out here tonight.
Thank you, you guys. You guys put on a great show. You're great sponsors. Glad to have you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause for Danny Bubar. Runner-up in this year's Limited Sportsman Spectacular was last year's champion. Welcome forward, Don Coper Jr. Don, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, there you were, a couple of laps to go, coming up on a lapped car, riding in 2nd place. Visions of a victory last year. What were you thinking?
I don't know, really. I just hope he screwed up, pushed up or whatever, and then try to get underneath him and just go from there. But he was hooked up pretty good.
You started back in the field quite a ways and brought yourself up through. Was it a good race for you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was surprised when I was going 3 wide. I wasn't putting the wall, but I don't know.
Well, with 40 cars out there, you did an amazing job tonight to do as well as you've done. We congratulate you, Dick Wilcock, with the presentation.
Congratulations on a great race, and again, all the people who raced out here tonight, I think, with a fine job, and National Distributors is mighty proud to be able to sponsor this Limited Sportsman Spectacular. Congratulations.
And we thank National Distributors and the Anheuser-Busch Company for being on hand with us. Well, if we went from 3rd to 2nd to 1st, that only leaves 1 to go. 75 laps in the lead. Welcome our Jimmy Emerson. Jimmy, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was one heck of a race. You know, I'd like to thank people that I raced with up front here. I never got touched once, and me and Pee-wee had a real good run, and Pee-wee's car was real fast, but I'll tell you, my crew, my oldest brother David, Stanley, I owed all of my oldest brother David. He does everything. Todd Mean, Dennis Westcott, all them guys, they're great. If I didn't have sponsors like, well, I crashed the car, so I got another one, Bubba Pelton, let me borrow the car, and I can't thank him enough. And I'll tell you, it's my parents' anniversary tonight. They've been married 40 years, and what a way to go home and show my dad this big trophy. You know, it's great.
That sure is. You have to be one of the luckiest guys at the racetrack tonight. About a 1 out of 70 chance to qualify for the pole to begin with. You did that. You redrew and got the pole. Did you feel like this one was going to be yours?
Well, it's funny because when we first got here, we jacked the car up. My brother was checking it out, and we just put a brand new rear end in the car because it wasn't going that good. We had to put a new one in. So we did all the work, put new bearings and stuff in the rear end, got over here tonight and had a bent axe. So my brother and my crew, they hunted for about a half hour, finally found another axe, and I said, boy, what a way to start a night off. But I'm paid off, you know, I owe all of them guys. I'm just the driver, and they do everything. That's it.
Well, you did something for 75 laps out here, and you've got something to show for it tonight. This is the trophy in the hat. The cash follows. It's $1,000, and here's Dick Wilcock.
I just have one question to ask you. I've been presenting these trophies out here for 5 years and always dreaded giving something to a competition. That genuine draft on the back is what happens around here during the winter, right?
Well, that ain't even a sponsor. Bubba Pelton that owned the car, he likes, Rusty Wallace, and he just put it on there for the looks, you know, and it don't mean nothing.
Well, genuine draft or whatever, I think we got a genuine race driver out here, and congratulations, and it's our pleasure, my pleasure on behalf of National Distributors and Budweiser to present you with this and the check that follows.
Thank you very much, and if it wasn't for you sponsors, it wouldn't be any racing. We'd be sitting home probably watching basketball or football or something else.
Well, you weren't tonight. Tonight, it was a good payday for you. $1,000 to you, Jim Emerson. We congratulate you. Ladies and gentlemen, another nice round of applause.
I'd like to thank Dean Turgeon and his wife that owned the car for putting up with the trouble. The first car I wrecked, and then he took another chance. We got this car, and they're great people, I'll tell you.
Well, you all have done a fantastic job to put the car together and put it in victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, the top 3 finishers tonight deserve a nice round of applause, and Jim Emerson, the king of the days tonight. Thank you all for being with us tonight. We ask you to please drive carefully on your way home. Bruce Elder, back to you.
Thank you, Andy. Well, that concludes our race program for the evening. And it's been a pleasure having you all with us tonight. We want to remind you once again that if you'd like to stay around for a little while, you are certainly welcome to do so. And in just a few moments, the main gate will be opened up. Have an opportunity to talk with some of the competitors tonight, look the cars over. Plus an opportunity to see the Dale Earnhardt, Richard Childress, number 3 Winston Cup car that's on hand tonight. If you are headed home, we urge you to drive carefully as always. Hope that you'll make it a habit to be right back here with us at one of America's premier short tracks, the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Good night.